I'm well. Go right ahead.
I have a quick question for the panel, and I'd like you to discuss the boy crisis in America today. How come we don't spend more time talking about the challenges of boys? And it is a major issue in this country. Boys are behind significantly in K through 12 education, and they're grossly outnumbered in college today as well. But I'd like to hear the take of the callers, and if you have a question, or the panel, please let me know.
Sorry, could you say that one more time? How come we don't spend more time discussing what exactly?
How come we don't spend more time discussing the challenges of boys today?
Of boys.
Because boys are way behind academically.
I see.
In K through 12 education and in college. They're grossly behind. And
Thanks.
It's a major challenge in this country.
Thanks, Sean. Appreciate that. Brandon Jetter, do you want to take a stab at Sean's question?
Yeah, so I mean that's an interesting perspective. That's not exactly one that I was thinking about, but yeah, I don't know. That is something that I suppose should be discussed. I'm not entirely familiar with the discrepancy at the K through 12 level, but there definitely is increasing gender gaps in higher education. I'm not sure if that is product of a certain system or if that is just kind of self-selection based on what people are pursuing. So yeah, unfortunately, I don't have an answer to that.
Is that a concern for you, Spencer Lindquist? Is this one of your issues?
Well, it's certainly not something that I was considering coming into this conversation, but I think that Sean does raise an interesting question. And to answer his question, one of the reasons that is something that isn't frequently discussed is because, unfortunately, in our society, we have come to associate masculinity with toxicity and with privilege. And this is part of a broader trend in America where various people in our country aren't allowed, socially speaking, to advocate for themselves because the dialectic has been changed so that certain people are attached to ideas of oppression or to ideas of privilege or to ideas of this toxicity that we see with masculinity. So I'd say the first step into advocating for men or for boys is to deconstruct this stigma that there is something toxic about being a man.
Well, I think that there's a different definition of toxic masculinity where there is some bipartisan support around that being an issue. But we have so many calls coming on, so I'm going to try to get a few more people on, and let me see.